Once upon a time, there was a breath. And this breath became a vast and wide sea. And on the sea was a tiny peaceful island. And on this island, near a beach of golden sands, lived a little boy named John. John loved the sea. He loved the sound of the waves gently washing on the shore. He loved that even though the waves would leave, they would always come back to him, just like his dad, the fisherman, who would work out at sea for weeks at a time. His dad would always come back to him sooner or later, and they'd have a great and happy time together. But one day, his dad didn't come back. Day after day, and night after night, John sat down on the beach and waited, but his dad did not show. Sickened from panic, hunger, and thirst, John began to cry. He cried day and night, and just when he thought he was done crying, the tears would come back again, like the waves of the sea. Finally, filled with desperation, John wiped his eyes and headed to sea in his father's rowboat. He would find his dad, one way or another. Though the oars were heavy, he slowly rowed out to sea until he no longer saw land. The sun in the clear blue sky beat down on him, and all around him was the endless sea. A long time passed, and he grew exhausted. Finally, he collapsed in the boat and fell into a deep sleep. Hours went by, and a thick fog rolled over the sea, engulfing the boat in cloud. By the time John awoke, all he could see was heavy gray mist. Gone was the sun and the sky. He even lost sight of the sea around him. He was terrified. He began to panic and could barely breathe. "I want to go home," he whimpered breathlessly. Just when he was about to cry, he heard a blast of air nearby. The sound startled him. It was loud and quick at first, but then faded away with a hiss like the breath of a great beast. Large waves started to rock the boat. Suddenly, a huge splash from the sea knocked John overboard. He tumbled deeper and deeper underwater. Arms flailing, air escaping his lungs, he started to lose consciousness and all hope, until all grew quiet. That sound, such a beautiful sound. It echoed all around him, surrounded him, held him. Through his closing eyes, John saw a huge eye passing by him under the water, so close, close enough to touch if he had the strength. Suddenly, he felt a massive force lifting him up, pushing him forth out of the depths. And with a great leap, he found himself lifted out of the sea, flying through the air and landing with a crash back into the waves. He would have been terrified if he had the strength. Instead, in his weakened state, he felt as if it were all an amazing dream. Down through the depths, up through the air, diving, flying over and over. And all the while, he heard the breath nearby, the blast of air he had heard earlier, sounding again and again, until all grew dark. John slowly opened his eyes to a blinding light. "He's coming around," someone shouted. John felt the familiar soft grit of the beach on his back. Suddenly, a shadow filled his vision. He opened his eyes. "John," said his dad, kneeling over him. "I'm so glad." "Dad," said John, "you came back. I knew you would. The sea always brings you back. Always."